Hello everyone, this is Dhananjay Gupta. Welcome you all on behalf of Hindu Center of Atlanta. We have joined for the Hindu Center of Atlanta's weekly program for kids and young youth, Sanatan Dharm Simplified. In this program, we learn Vedic mantras and their meaning, and we read and learn from a story. We are fortunate to have Acharya Brahmadevji from Mauritius. Acharya has had an inclusive educational background in science, banking, management, and Darshanacharya from Vedic philosophy, Darshan Yoga Mahavidyalaya, Gujarat, India, and a diverse career in financial services industry and at Arya Sabha, Mauritius. He has been a key resource person for Arya Sabha, Mauritius on the universal Vedic values, yoga and meditation, and on interfaith and intercultural dialogue, various national and international forums. The Mauritius Council of Religions, Arya Pratinidhi Sabha America, Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple, and Hindu Center of Atlanta. He is author of numerous insightful articles on Vedic philosophy and contemporary issues in English and French. Over to Acharya.
So, namaste everybody. I think you can all put your videos on, and when you do the talking, then you unmute yourself, because it's not many people, so that can be crowded. Please put all your video on so that I can see you. Let's sit down straight, because we urgently will do Gayatri Mantra chanting. And while doing Gayatri Mantra chanting, we are going to listen to our own pronunciation. Listen to each and every word, the sound of our pronunciation and the vibrations of the sound waves from the pronunciation. Sit down straight, close your eyes gently, deep inhale and exhale, and focusing on the exhale. While exhaling, we are going to chant Om 3 times. Then Gayatri Mantra, I will lead and you chant in the same pace, same tone with me. And we'll gradually reduce our tone to do silent chanting. And when we do silent chanting, you listen to your inner chanting, inner pronunciation, as we say, the sounds of the silent pronunciation. So that will bring you the focus. And this is one starting point of meditation. Remember, when you are better focused, whatever you do in life, whether you're studying, you are engaged in sports, or you are playing, you'll be better focused and you can be a better performer in whatever you do in life. So Gayatri Mantra chanting, starting with Om Jap 3 times. Om. Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurabhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Silent chanting now. Join your hands together, slightly rub them and cover the eyes gently. Slowly, gradually open your eyes below your hands and feel the energy from your hands going into your eyes, energizing your whole body. Then get your hands on your face. Feel the positive energy there. Thank you. So, namaste and welcome everybody. I think we can all just switch on our video because when we'll be interacting, then we can see who is talking and just raise your hands while doing the talking. So, anybody will tell us what we learned last time? Yash had a story on patience, forgiveness. So, anybody just recall the story? Yes, please. You had raised your hands.
Is it Hansel and Gretel?
Ayush, yes, please tell us.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So what did we learn about forgiveness in the story, Ayush?
Like, they forgave the king for being like not caring about them.
Okay. So anybody remember how we said what is Sanatan Dharma? So what is Sanatan? Yes.
It means like eternal.
Yeah, good. And what is eternal?
Like doesn't have a beginning and end. It's like
Yeah.
always happened.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent. And then what is Dharma?
Righteous living.
Yeah. So then we went upon Dharma. We've already talked about truth. Then we went about forgiveness. So anybody remember what we said about truth? Why we should be truthful, always be truthful in life? Aryan? You were there in the first session.
We should be truthful because if you don't be truthful, no, once you do something multiple times, someone won't listen to you the third time.
Yeah, they won't believe in you.
To be truthful, people will respect you and they will believe you that you can do something.
You remember the story which we said about truth, the example?
The boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, can you just briefly tell us what it was about?
The boy who cried wolf was about a boy who he had a herd of sheep, and to trick the people in his town, he cried wolf. So then the townspeople came to try to protect them, but the first time it didn't happen, and the second time it happened, they believed him. The third time he cried wolf, there was a real wolf, but then no one came.
So the herd was destroyed. So that shows us we should always be truthful, otherwise people stop believing in us. And that starts from home. Then forgiveness, the story was about. So Yash, can you please tell us the story again?
Okay. So once there was a king, and there was a golden swan that came from heaven, and that swan said, if you want to go to heaven with me, then you will have to please all of your like townspeople. So then the king dressed up as like a citizen of his like country and went around trying to help people. And when he came across one old man, the old man said, our king has been dressing up as a citizen and he wants to try to help us, but he doesn't know that we want help from his actions, and like his actions that are like authoritative and like that are helping everybody. So the king went back and started doing those actions, and eventually the swan came and he went to heaven.
Okay. So today we are going to look at, what did we say? That was going to be patience. So who was the story for today? Oh, I forgot to note who was going to tell us the story of today.
Viraj, do you have any story? Afia?
Anybody? Yes, Viraj?
Adi want to say something.
Yeah, Adi, please come forward.
It's like something that happened in my experience that I needed to use patience.
Yeah, please tell us.
So when I was in second grade, like on spring break, I took my second grade class pet bunny and took care of it in my home. So that's when I wanted a bunny. So my mom said you need to make $1,000 in order to get the bunny. So by the time I finished collecting $1,000, I really, really wanted a bunny. It took me 2 years until I finally got it.
So, and when you got it, how did you feel?
I felt very excited.
So this is the fruit of the patience you had taken for that. If you got the bunny and the first day you asked for it, would you do you think you would have the same excitement, the same level of happiness than rather when you waited for it and got it finally?
Waited for it and got it finally.
So this is the fruit of patience. Anybody has any other thing to tell us? Personal experience? Yeah, anything to tell us on patience? Anshika? No. Okay, I will tell you a funny
Wait,
story about
nice.
patience. Yeah, please, Anshika, go ahead.
Because when I was 7, I was really like, I was alone and I was really bored at home. And then I had no one to play with. And then suddenly I got to know that I was going to have a brother. And then because I was little at that time, I thought that he would come right that day. But then I need to wait so long. But then finally I got such a nice brother.
So, and how did you
And
feel on the day
so
you saw your brother? The first day?
I have a little brother.
Okay. I will tell you a funny story about patience. So, what is an orchard? Yes, Ayush? Unmute yourself. Everybody, unmute
Like a
yourself.
like a place where like crops and plants grow. Like for example, like an apple orchard.
Yeah, that's a good example. So, there was a mango orchard, and monkeys were always coming, plucking the mangoes. And you know, when they eat half of it and they throw away, and then they will take another one. So, the owner had a very bad time with the monkeys. So he appointed people with sticks, as we say, danda, to chase the monkeys. The monkeys said, okay, we'll be having our own orchard and we'll be free to eat and do whatever we want with the mangoes. So they took a few seeds, mango seeds, and went to a piece of land which was barren and put the seeds there. And after some time, they went out to dig because they didn't see anything grow. They went on to dig and see the seed. The seed was like that, and then put it again in the soil. They did this twice, thrice daily. And that those seeds never grew to become trees. Why? Because the monkeys didn't have the patience to wait for the seed to sprout, to grow, and become trees. So they had a good resolution to have their own orchard, but then trees, mango seed, it will take probably 2 3 months to germinate, then take a few years to grow into trees. Probably after 5 7 years, then we'll start blooming and getting the fruits. But the mangoes, the monkeys didn't have the patience to wait for that. So that shows us patience at the end will always give us the desired results. And when we get the results, after being patient, the level of happiness that we have is very much higher than rather we get it instantly. Because then we can value whatever we waited for to get. Anybody else have anything to say?
I have a story.
Yes.
So it's a story about like when somebody did not use patience which led to
Yes.
something like bad. So
Please
this
tell
is
us.
the story like of a mongoose. So in a town there lived a Brahmin named Madhav. He had no child. His wife reared a mongoose as a pet. She loved her pet and took great care of it. The mongoose too adored her. The woman felt blessed. The woman felt blessed as she reared the mongoose like her own kid. She was in the family way at last. In due course she gave birth to a son. Her son and the mongoose grew up together as brothers. One day she went to listen to a discourse, leaving her son under the care of her husband. As Madhav was fondling his son, a messenger arrived from the court of the king. Madhav was required in the court at once. He could not refuse the order of a king. His wife had not yet come back. Then he saw the mongoose. He believed that it would take care of their son. He left for the court, leaving his son under the care of the mongoose. The mongoose stationed itself by the side of the child's swing bed. He guarded his mistress's son very dutifully, and the child was his friend too, of course. Suddenly, a terrible cobra arrived there and crept towards the bed of the child. The mongoose became alert. It challenged the cobra fearlessly. The cobra hissed menacingly, and a deadly battle began. The mongoose was able to kill the cobra at last. Madhav and his wife arrived at the same time. The mongoose happily leapt around to see them. Suddenly, the couple noticed blood in the mouth of the pet. They jumped at the conclusion that the mongoose had eaten their son. Both of them screamed and fell on the mongoose with whatever they had in their hands. The poor mongoose was dead. When the husband and wife went in, they found their son playing happily, and the cobra lay dead by the side of his bed. They were shocked to realize the truth. In haste, they had killed their faithful pet. They killed the creature which actually saved their son's life.
Anybody else? Thank you, Yash. Aditya, anything to add?
No, thank you.
Abhya?
No.
So that's a good thing. Each and everybody trying to add a story and will remember those. These are values of life. And it's good to learn them through stories because at the same time you are doing some good reading and it stays within us. So now we are left with about 5-6 minutes. Anybody else have anything to add? How did you find today's session?
Great. It was really good. Yeah.
We can do the meaning of Gayatri Mantra again. This
Yeah. So let's sit down and chant Gayatri Mantra once and then go into the meaning. Close your eyes gently. One deep breath in and then start the Gayatri Mantra while breathing out. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. So Gayatri Mantra starts with Om. Who remembers what is Om?
the name of Ishwar God.
Yeah. And when we chant Om, why it tends to silence our mind and our emotions? Because Om consists of three words, A, U, and Ma in Hindi. When we start pronouncing Om, when we start with O, it starts from the belly, then it comes to the vocal part, and when we say Ma, it ends with there. So it activates all the sources of sound in our body. That's why it tends to bring us to silence and focus. So Om is the main name or first name of Ishvara God. All the other names by which we address Ishvara God takes only one meaning according to one particular characteristic or actions of God. When we say Om, it's all inclusive because it activates all the sources of sound and integrates all whatever name that is there. And from the composition of the Hindi word Uma, it takes all the names that follows. Now I'll take one example, like the name Shiv. Shiv means benefactor, Kalyan Karne Wala. So that's only one particular function of God. When we say Ganesh, it implies God as the leader of all mankind and all other forms of life. Gano ke samu. And he knows the number of species, the number of life forms, and the number of people or other species in the world. Likewise, when we say Rudra, addressing God as Rudra is the characteristic of God being all just and giving all the fruits of our karma, the penalties for negative karma, for bad deeds, and the good results of our good deeds. So for example, when you do something which is good, you yourself, when you silence yourself, you reflect upon it, you feel bad. And when you do things that are good, you can feel the happiness within you. So these are among the functions of God, which we'll look at a later point in time. Then we'll take Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha for today. Bhu means God as the giver of life. Why we say God as the giver of life? He's created the universe with earth, fire, water, space, and air. The five essential elements of this universe which allows everything to grow and which we need to sustain our life. So Ishvara, God as Bhu, is the giver of life. Because just imagine, had he not created the whole of the universe and we would have been in this form of life, where would we have been staying? What would we eat? What would we drink? So he's given sustainer of life. Then Bhuva. Bhuva is the liberator from pains and sorrows. How does God, Ishvara, liberates us from pains and sorrows? While we do the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra, we silence ourselves, and once we start learning how to put ourselves in silence, whenever we have to do any action, if we just give us a pause and listen to our inner voice, we'll find that before doing good things, we'll already have this sense of greatness that we are going to do good deeds. We can feel the elation within ourselves, the happiness within ourselves, and the sense of encouragement from within. Go ahead, we have the drive to go. But when we are thinking of doing something bad, the first thing we feel fear, lest we be caught doing the bad thing. And we'll always try to hide ourselves so that nobody says we are doing something bad. So it's fear and shame. As we say in Hindi, bhai, lajja, shanka, and we are always doubtful, lest we may be caught, what will happen. But when we do things that are good, it's always, as we say, we are always having the inner positive energy driving us to conclude. So when we go on that path of listening to our inner voice, this is the divine guidance, shifting us from bad deeds, which will result in pain and sorrows, and driving us forward to do good things. And remember, things that we do originate first here, thoughts, then come as words. Even if we don't speak to others, these are the words which go within ourselves and then goes into physical actions. Often we hear people saying, we did it so fast, we didn't think about it. No, the speed that we did it, we didn't notice that we had the thought and we were speaking to ourselves, and finally it went into deeds. If you just wait, just slow down a bit. That's why when we chant Gayatri Mantra, we don't go fast. We go slowly, gradually, and we learn slowing down our lives, especially in the days of confinement, when we are all confined to our homes. That taught us in a way to slow down and listen to our inner voice. Then Swaha, the all blissful, giver of happiness. So when we follow the guidelines of the divine guidance, the guidance of Ishwar God, staying away from evil, staying away from bad things, and doing the good things, will always be happy. So it's Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha. Next week we'll take Tat Savitur Varenyam, and that will take Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And the last will be Dhyoyo Naha Prachodayat, but I'll take that briefly. Dhyoyo Naha Prachodayat is the prayer part of Gayatri Mantra, which says, praying to Ishwar God to enlighten our mind so that we'll be able to make out between truth and untruth, Satya and Asatya. We'll be able to make out between Dharma and Adharma, what is right and what is wrong, what is virtue and what is vice. And then we'll be able to assert ourselves in our duties and responsibilities and stop being lazy or negligent. So Satya, Asatya, will be able to sift truth from untruth. Then Dharma, Adharma, sifting right things, good things from bad things and evil things. That is right from wrong. And finally, we'll be able to shoulder our responsibilities, karma and kartavya, and stop being negligent or lazy, which is akartavya. So that's a brief on where Gayatri Mantra leads us, and we are going to continue learning the values of life through stories. So the subject of next week would be, why should we always be calm, as we say, level-headed? That is one topic. And second, Asteya, why should we not steal? Non-stealing. Chori nahi karna. So
before the
you
end,
can read and
everybody
find some stories about it. Yes, Dhananjay ji?
before the end, everybody will try to recite Gayatri Mantra so that we can learn.
So we'll leave it open for everybody to look for a story and you can come with it. Just like today, I think we had 3 stories on patience. So by your turn, you'll be chanting Gayatri Mantra. Don't rush about it. Everybody will do it once, slowly, don't rush. Okay, so we'll start.
Abhya, start Abhya.
Yeah, Anshika, unmute yourself, please.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देव्यस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Is that
Next. Aryan, yeah.
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Next.
Om
Avya.
Oh,
Avya, please. Gayatri Mantra. Okay, Yash, please go ahead.
Om Bhur Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
Okay, Avya, please.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्.
Yeah. Ayush.
सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्.
Slowly. I think you rushed about it. Slowly. Sit down straight first. Yes.
Let's do it again.
Say it, Ayush. Gayatri Mantra.
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Now we have 3 left, Aditya, Shiv, and Siddhi. So each one, do your turn among yourself. Don't rush, just be slow in the chanting.
I'm working on it, and I almost got it right.
Okay, Acharya can help to all 3 of you just recite after the Acharya. Okay.
So I will chant it in 4 parts and you just repeat after each part. Om Bhur Swaha
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tat Savitur Varenyam
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Yo Yo Nah Prachodayat.
यो यो नमः.
Just listen to me first. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha. Okay, repeat.
Om Bhuraswata.
No, it's Swaha. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha.
Om Bhuraswaha.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Tat Savituryenyam.
It's Varenyam. So it's Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Tat Savituryenyam.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Virgo Diya Madir.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Virgo Diyas Dimehi.
It's Devasya. Just catch that word. Devasya.
Devasya
Then Dhimahi.
Dimahi.
So it's Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Virgo Diyas Dimehi.
Yo yo nah prachodayat.
Yo yo nama prachodya.
It's it's nah. Yo yo nah
Yo yo naha
prachodayat.
prachodya.
So now you chant with me. Oh, chant along with me. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. So now everybody will chant with me. Sit down straight, everybody, so that you can, the voice will come out of you. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Just practice that every day. When you sit down for lunch or for dinner or for breakfast, when you are within the family with the parents along with you, chant it and let the parents guide you in the chanting. And when you chant there,
Just listen
just
on the
ask.
YouTube, okay? Just turn on YouTube and just keep listening again and again.
You will get it.
Okay, you will get it. That's how Aryan and Yash got it. Okay, just listening by on YouTube, you can learn it. It's very easy.
Just do like Ayush does. Everybody does the chanting on his own self and under the guidance of the parents. Listening to YouTube is okay, but then you do it under the guidance of your parents where you chant and let the parents guide you. Okay? So that's all for today. Let's sit down straight for Om Shanti 3 times. One deep inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So fold your hands, join your hands like this, and namaste to everybody. Everybody will say namaste ji. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Friday for another session. We'll be talking about non-stealing. And tomorrow is the satsang of Hindu Center of Atlanta. Tomorrow, Saturday at 10:30 a.m. And then we'll have the session for the parents on Sunday, 9 p.m. It's always Eastern time in US and Canada. Thank you. Namaste, everybody.
Everyone, thank you for joining.
Namaste, ji.
Pranam.
Pranam. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.